on that
I will
Facebook
do a
live stream.
little jam. Are you going to come and sing with me? Sharon has a wonderful voice.
That's very sweet of you to say. For anyone that's actually heard that CD that we put out like 12 years ago
That's
for
right.
the Christmas
That's
album
right.
at QVC, that's going back. But you know
That
what
is.
we have right now? Something that is so extraordinary, you kind of have to really be actually physically looking at your television in order to get it, because, you know, listening is not enough. You need to see the size of these crab cakes. They're between a baseball and a softball size. They are enormous. They are 8 ounces each. And we've done the traditional crab cakes before from the Great Gourmet, but this is the first time we're giving you a choice of the traditional or the one I have in front of me, which is the coconut, which we've done in the smaller size, but we haven't seen in recent months. Your price for 8 of them in the half-pound largest size that we offer in any crab cake on the air, 8 of them are less than $100. Mind officially blown. Grab your 4 easy pays. There is no auto delivery. Stock up or get both of the flavors, because that price will not be lower for a full 6 months, and it's expiring at the end of the day. So we have Richard Roman, who's here, who is a chef, and I love the fact that you bring your layers of expertise to the recipe that's delicious, but the sheer amount of the recipe that we're getting.
You know what, Sharon, first of all, it's great to be here. Yeah, I have over 20 years experience in the restaurant business, but Kim Scott, the owner of Great Gourmet, has over 20 years experience sourcing the best seafood from various vendors.
Right.
And she's born on the eastern shore of Maryland. If there's one thing the eastern
She
shore of Maryland
knows.
knows, it's crab cakes. And this is a quintessential Maryland-style crab cake. But as you said, 8 ounces, and the reason I'm holding this next to this other crab cake, this is a typical 3 to 3.5 ounce crab cake you would probably find in a seafood store, maybe even at a restaurant, a grocery store. Look at the difference in size. It's just unbelievable how large this crab cake, but here's the most important thing. I just mentioned 20 years of experience. I want to break into this crab cake because it's not just about the size of the crab cake, it's about what's inside of it and what it tastes like. When you look inside here, all you see is wonderful, beautiful crab meat. And what I love about this recipe is the crab meat shines. It's not overpowered by too many spices and seasonings. This is more of that classic Maryland-style crab cake recipe. And look at the beautiful lump meat, the back fin, the claw, all those wonderful flavors layered in.
And you know what? This is the first time in the large size.
So yeah, you just said the first time we've ever done the coconut in this 8 ounce size.
Yeah, we've never done this before. So I know this is going to be very popular in the show. This one looks a little different too, because the coconut gets very
a little browner.
toasty
That's
brown on the outside. Look at that. Beautiful crab meat. What's beautiful about this recipe?
What I love about it, that coconut offers kind of a sweet and nutty flavor, just a little different, unique twist to this traditional crab cake.
It's been a while since I've had this one.
It's been almost a year.
I forgot how much I like this recipe. It is so good. Lightly, keyword, lightly sweet.
That's right.
Because of that coconut. But coconut and crab meat are so perfect together. They balance each other so beautifully.
Think about the flavor. It's like such a tropical flavor. And this time of year with the summer, coconut adds just that light touch, like you said, of sweetness. And it really plays well with the sweet, kind of briny crab meat. Just a great combination. And as you said, it's been over almost a year since we even had the other coconut crab cakes in the small size. We've never done an 8 ounce in the coconut flavor. And I couldn't be more excited about it. And look at how succulent that crab meat is coming out of this crab cake.
And the price is expiring at the end of the day. If you have done, we've had in the past a buy more, save more in these large size cakes. If you know what you have spent on 8 of them in the past and you realize you're getting this for less than $100 and the price will not be better for 6 months, and we've got those 4 easy payments, you know what a ridiculous value this is. This breaks down the price to be somewhere around $12 a crab cake. And I'm just going to step behind you here because I want to grab this.
Absolutely.
Because you can very easily go to a seafood restaurant and get a crab cake sandwich and spend a ton of money on it, and it looks like this.
That's right.
And it's been made by a machine, and it's all mushed almost like a pate on the inside, so it has no texture. You're not quite sure because the way they fried it, it tastes like something fried, but you're not even sure you're tasting the crab. Then you look at this, and you're looking how much of this you're getting. I would not let this value escape, because even if someone is getting this early, maybe for something that's happening in September or October, how long will this stay good in the freezer
This is good in the freezer for a year, and I'm glad you just mentioned the handmade thing. Again, Kim spends each week dealing with her seafood vendors, people that she's known for years, trying to find the best crab meat she can, and then each week brings that into her kitchens by hand with that recipe, makes them from scratch so that for you, the QVC customer, you're getting the best possible result we can give you.
And 600, I think, have now been spoken for. So again, you get a choice. We have never done this in this size crab cake. It's not only the largest one that Kim makes for us from the Great Gourmet, it's the largest one we have here at QVC. It is 8 ounces for a single cake. It is half a pound, which makes such a huge statement on the plate.
That's right.
And what you can even do with these is do it more like an appetizer and put well, I don't think we have it here as an appetizer specifically, but you can put them in, put crackers and other stuff on the outside, and then you just stick this right in the middle, and it's gorgeous.
I'm glad you mentioned one of my favorite things. I throw a couple of these in the oven, okay? I put them on the table. I had 3 of these on the table for 5 of us. Was a healthy appetizer we all shared, because literally, as you said, at half pound, think about that. When you're getting 8 of these, you're getting 4 pounds of incredible crab cakes. I mean, look at all that crab meat. And
that's more crab than anything else.
Exactly. We use just enough to hold it together. And again, the seasoning is more of a backdrop. This is that coconut flavor, which I'm so excited to be able to present in the 8-ounce size.
It is so good. If you've ever missed out on the coconut flavor in the smaller size, it is so good. We've never done it this way before.
No, and look at this. The coconut just adds a little sweetness to it, but look how big this crab cake is. I have big hands. I can barely hold this, how it's filling up the plate, and just crab meat upon crab meat billowing out of this. And again, I said it before, sourcing the best ingredients we can, bringing it to the kitchen, and then presenting our recipe to highlight that crab meat.
This is really incredible that we have the set of 2 different flavors, but the most incredible part about it to me is the price. The good part is the value is ridiculous for 8 of these. They're around $12 a piece if you want to do it that way. However, the bad news is we don't have this on auto delivery. So if you want to pick up more than 1 box, maybe 1 of each flavor, go through the coconut during the summertime, save the traditional to more of the colder months, you can do that. But I think you would be very hard pressed to even go to any kind of seafood restaurant
That's right.
and find a crab cake that rivals these in recipe, let alone in the sheer size. This becomes more about the experience than just let's have crab cake. This is an experience.
It does, and you know what? That's one of those things. You go to the seafood store, we showed you before. Often you'll find you won't even find an 8-ounce crab cake.
A hockey puck thing.
You go to a restaurant, you can't even get an 8-ounce. This is that quality and that presentation. As if you went to a 5-star restaurant, you would pay $45 for an entree. It's a center of the plate entree portion, and we're doing all the work for you.
So how do we do these? We get them at home; they're frozen, right?
Best way, Sharon, and the way I love about it, why it's so easy, is right into a hot oven, 425 degrees. What that does is it gets that crusty, crisp exterior, but then that soft, fluffy interior. To me, that's the best way to do it.
This is what we're talking about, that crisp exterior. And I believe, what was that you said, Scott? 300 remaining in each of the choices, and there's no auto delivery to lock into. This is what we're talking about. Do you see? Here, let me just
it's a great shot right there, Sharon.
Look at this. You can see how crisp that is. But then when you actually get into this, look at all of this beautiful, snowy white crab meat, your different textures. If this were done by machine, you wouldn't be seeing any of these larger pieces. This is where your texture and this is where your true flavor is. That's why this is a labor of love.
It is, and that's so important that you mentioned that again, made by hand, because as you said, we're controlling the ingredients, controlling what goes in, making sure you get that right balance of the crab meat with the spice and the seasoning. And in the case of the coconut, not too much. I don't want people to be afraid they're going to get this. It's going to taste like a big ball of coconut.
It's not like a pina colada.
No,
it's okay.
It's just a subtle, toasty, sweet flavor. I love it. It just plays with the crab meat so well.
You know what? You're so right. Like I said, they complement each other. They play in the sandbox well, as it were, for that flavor combination. But the traditional, how many of us have known and loved that traditional Maryland-style crab cake that the Great Gourmet has been bringing to us? And when was it that you originally debuted the 8-ounce size? Was that like Christmas as of a year ago, or just this past one, or was it? It was the one before.
It was a little bit before. A little over a year ago, the 8-ounce, and again, as you said, it's the largest crab cake you can get here.
You can't find an 8-ounce anywhere. Like that was, I didn't even know that was a thing until I saw you guys bring it to us.
I mean, look, I'm sorry, I'm trying to hold this in my hand. It's so big, it literally is overflowing the plate. All this is crab meat with just enough seasoning and binder to hold together.
The different types of crab meat. So just like you were saying, there's different types that are in here.
That's correct.
It's just enough that when you bake it, that it comes together. As soon as you open it up, it falls apart, which is actually the good thing because it shows you how much actual crab meat is in that cake.
And you want that because you want it to be tender. When you have a star ingredient like crab meat, the important thing is to not put too many spices and seasonings. And a lot of times you go out and people get too creative. Listen, the crab is a beautiful
That's
ingredient.
the star.
Let's use it. Let's make it. Let's just elevate it with the right recipe and handmade ingredients that we put into it.
So if you want to bring this home, this is the first time we've ever offered you a choice of flavors in the 8-ounce size crab cake. And here's the other thing. If you're saying 8 ounces, that's huge. I don't have an appetite for that. I mean, we've had this discussion.
That's right.
I would share this with somebody. I know my kids would be sharing this. So you can cook up the one and you can maybe eat half of it or share it with somebody that you love. So that's okay too. So don't worry about it being too much food because honestly, you only pull out what you want. You don't have to cook them all up at the same time. So I need to let you know where we are with these. We started with 1,500. Now, if you want the traditional, these up here, fewer than 100 remaining. And then the coconut, fewer than 200 remaining. This is a 1-day only price. We brought this in today. It was priced like this today. The price will be going up actually at the end of the day, not to be lower for at least a full 6 months, and there is no auto delivery option. So the reason I bring that up is, you know, there's no program you can sign into to say, oh, I'm going to keep getting my good crab cakes. Oh, I'm going to keep getting my good crab cakes. No, you won't. So if you want to get more than one set, they will stay good in your freezer for up to a year. Because putting this on the plate, it's a little bit different than that you might be able to find at your local food store.
Yeah, and you know what? Whenever you have crab cake, you always seem, like you say, want for more. You know, there's like, oh, I wish I had another bite. Well, with the 8-ounce size.
Well, yeah, you got enough on this one.
You're never going to have to worry. And you made a great point. You could take one crab cake, put it in the oven, cook it up, literally split this in half, okay? And I'm just going to show you all that wonderful crab meat. Make 2 sandwiches. That's how large these are. You can make 2 beautiful crab cake sandwiches.
This would be a little harder to squish.
That's right.
But if you cut it in half, you could squish it a little easier.
Oh, it is. Look at this. I mean, literally,
look,
it's just billowing out crab cake. I'm getting hungry.
And you know what? Well, you know what? You can eat it in a second because the traditional, I believe, is now gone.
Oh, wow.
Completely sold out. If you want the coconut, 150 remaining. It's delicately, lightly sweet. You can taste the real ingredients. It's not artificial. Oh. I'm saving a crab cake for this guy. Good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
But coming up in 8 minutes, oh, top find. Okay, I just had my 1-day only value, which was the crab cake. Top find, already popular.